I'm Margaret Ann Windsor, and I was kidnapped in 1941, born in 1939, and brought to Moulton, Alabama, on a pigsty farm. If you don't know what a pigsty farm is, it's about as bad as you can get. Um, my name was stolen. I was kidnapped from Buckingham Palace in 41, and I coexisted, me and my father and mother, King Edward VIII, who was married to Claudia Ruth O'Keefe Windsor, who was the real queen. And still is. It was a plot to take down my father with character assassination. He never had anything to do with Wallace Warfield Simpson. An imposter married her. Um, Sir Winston Churchill burned the Windsor files. That's my mom's marriage to my father. And they remained married. They stole his name also when they kidnapped me. There was a addendum to my father's forced abdication. You even had the church getting in on it. Winston Churchill, he went along with the Kennedys and the Illuminati, the Rothschilds and Rockefellers, and my own uncle, Illegal George, which that whole lineage is a bunch of crooks. My own Uncle George, who helped take down my father, and because with lies, and because of the addendum that was signed in 1936 when my father was forced to abdicate, my mom is the legal queen of England. And Winston Churchill burned them. Helped Roosevelt, Rockefellers, Rothschilds, Kennedys. Joe Kennedy was appointed ambassador to England 36 till they kicked him out in 46. JFK, his son, helped in my kidnapping. So I coexisted at that age because of the addendum. I was the legal heir and am to the British throne. So they had to kidnap me. They'd taken my father out, but because of the addendum, it put my father back in when I was born as my guardian, power of attorney. So now they had to deal with me. They kidnapped me and brought me to Moulton, Alabama, stole my identity, gave me the name of a dead twin, Peggy Ann Dempsey. Both twins were murdered by their mother. They were born out of wedlock back then. And it was a horrible family. So I wanted to get this up. I found out about my kidnapping and real name when I was in a campaign to replace a doctor congressman. I'd written about Larry McDonald, doctor congressman, who went down in the Korean jet when it was shot down by the Soviets when it veered into the airspace August the 31st of 83. I was flown out to Larry Flint's twice. He helped me in the campaign, and he had been shot in Lawrenceville, Georgia, while I was doing a book, and there's a connection there, although I'd never met Mr. Flint till then. What I wanted to do is I started finding out about my dad, about the lies. The Brits were always there. I look back and it made sense then, and the Germans and some Americans. But basically, the Americans think it's a joke that they've done it to me. It's an acceptable crime. I'm British. Well, my mom was an American. You don't care about her either? No, they didn't. But here's what I wanted to put. I started finding out about my dad that he never married Wallace Simpson. It was a total takedown of a beautiful man because he would not go along and follow orders from the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, Bilderbergers. So thus, Uncle George, the illegal six, Elizabeth, Charles, the whole mess is illegal. They're war criminals and should be charged. My dad stood his ground and he paid a price for it. I wouldn't change his decision whatsoever, for I would do the same. And I'm very proud of him. And I want to clear his name, and this is what I wanted to put up. I have been trying to get back what's mine and clear my father and mother's names. Last night I heard that the baseball player Ty Cobb, that he'd been smeared illegally, and what was said about him, more than likely, according to a new book, was untrue, and they're trying to clear his name. So it's false news. But then they'd turn around, the Rothschilds and Rockefellers would probably turn around unless this goes viral and try to say or just dismiss me, okay? But Ty Cobb, I Googled him because I meant to put it up, and I can't Google it up. But he was born. I lived in Atlanta, Georgia, when I was doing the book, and so much happened to me in 1978 and 1980 when they almost killed me April Fool Day, because this whole thing about kidnapping the monarch is a joke to them. But Ty Cobb was born in Narrows, Georgia. That's close there. July of 61, he died in Atlanta. And the new book questions the public perception of Ty Cobb. It seems to have been a lie, just like I'm comparing it because the whole thing was a lie. It wasn't even my father. They stole his identity too. My God, he was married to Claudia Ruth O'Keefe, who was a legitimate queen, 1936, till they took my dad down. She still was. And there was an addendum, and I became the monarch the day I was born, so they had to deal with me and they kidnapped me. And Elizabeth was living in Buckingham Palace because we coexisted for a while there till they kidnapped me. She totally knows about my mom, about the lie, about Wallace Simpson. They have made no effort to clear my father's name or bring me back or help me. In other words, they've tried to destroy me, ignore me, but it's not just that. They have made a hit on me that I know of personally. Okay, I wanted to say that about Ty Cobb because it seems that whole thing about him smear was a lie, and someone's trying to set that straight. And I think, above all, the biggest heist in history was taking out my father and kidnapping me and getting away with it and loving a bunch of thugs that are sitting in Buckingham Palace and gotten wealthy. And my family and my country, they sold out my country. That's all I'm going to say. The that illegals, traitors there, war criminals, partnered with the United States. Winston Churchill stayed in the White House and was buddy-buddy with the Roosevelts and later with Eisenhower. All of the United States presidents have known, and their Secretary of States, probably most of the Congress, have always known Senator John Sparkman from Alabama. My God, he died with Lina Dempsey, who was the mother of the twins, that's where I was placed and had to call her mother, although I refused. So somewhere in my mind, I always knew. I've told her, I can remember it. You're not my mom. So I'd like to clear my father's name. I'd like back what's mine, legally mine. I am the legal heir. And I would like these bunch of thugs that you think are some people think are the biggest heist in history is okay. No, it's not. I'd like back what's mine. I'd like to go home and reclaim it and clear my father's name and my mother, who she really is. Thank you.